Welcome back. I'm here with Football League editor Pascal Lemaire to talk about Friday night's championship match between Birmingham and Derby. Pascal, we'll start with Derby. It's been a pretty underwhelming start to the season.
Certainly has. Promotion favourites at the start of the season. You look at their squad, they've got a fantastic squad. All the players they've signed as well spent a lot of money, and I know Paul Clement, this is his first managerial job, but you'd think that with the players at his disposal and the experience he's got working under Carlo Ancelotti with Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, at Chelsea as well, you would have thought that he'd be up to the job here. But three straight draws in the league, and the first two especially, they go to Bolton on the opening day, 0-0 there, and Bolton since still haven't been able to score, so they're sort of one of the teams really struggling. And Charlton at the weekend, they did create a lot more chances than Charlton in that game. Chris Martin scored a fantastic for his first goal of the season, but to not win there, and then it was the big game, billed as the big game this midweek against Middlesbrough, who, they're the two promotion favourites this season, and Middlesbrough came into that much more confident than Derby. They won 3-0 at the weekend, and they took the lead in the first half, and you thought, Derby, is this getting away from them already? 4 games, still no win, but they came up with the late goal, great finish from Johnny Russell, drilled it in low, and I think that's going to be a big boost for them going into this game. The fact they got that late equaliser, and it takes 2 points away from Middlesbrough, who, even though Derby haven't started great, you'd still expect these two teams, Derby and Middlesbrough, to be there come the end of the season, but it hasn't been a great start for Derby, and even going out of the Cup as well against Portsmouth. That was because Portsmouth, they're a League Two team, favourites to win the League Two title, but Portsmouth, I think, made 8 changes for that game, and Derby still put out a really strong squad with the likes of Vyman, Darren Bent. They had a really strong squad there, and they went out there, so it's disappointing, and injuries are going to cost them as well this season, because Will Hughes is now probably going to miss most of the season with he's done his ACL, and Jeff Hendrick went off injured against Middlesbrough, another key central midfielder for them. So, I'm not sure how serious Hendrick's injury is, but if he's out for a bit of time, it's another blow for them, and things aren't going well for them at the moment.
As for Birmingham, it's been a decent start to the season, and they had no midweek game this week.
Yeah, so they've had a few more days rest than Derby. They were supposed to play Brentford this midweek, but Brentford called the game off because they've got their horrendous pitch there. They sort of said to Birmingham, I think both clubs had to agree, and it had to go to the Football League as well. But I think Birmingham said, we'll play it in September if we can play on a better pitch, because Birmingham, they've been playing good football so far this season. And the first game of the season, they got a win at home to Reading, but I'm not sure they completely deserved it. Reading, they had a last-minute penalty saved, and I think they could have easily lost that game, let alone win it. But the performance of Burnley really impressed me. They went to Turf Moor. Burnley, a lot of quality in that squad, just come down from the Premier League, and Birmingham really impressed me there. They took the lead early on. John Terrell, on loan from Arsenal, it's 2-2 for him now. He's looked really good. It was a great finish from just outside the box, and they looked fairly solid for the whole game. Their second goal probably shouldn't have been given because it was from the penalty spot, and Clayton Donaldson went down. In his post-match interview, he said, if I get a touch on my ankle, I feel like I should go down, but he actually stepped on a Burnley defender's foot, and it should never have been given. So they were quite fortunate to get a penalty there, but even after that, they looked fairly comfortable, and but for a fantastic Matt Taylor free kick, it was one of the best free kicks I've seen in recent years. It was a really good hit, and but for that, they would have got a win there. So, it was a decent draw at Burnley, and now they've had a few days off to rest, so they should be going to this game full of confidence.
It's quite an interesting one, considering how both teams have done so far. What's your score prediction for it?
Yeah, certainly. I think Derby at the start of the season, you would have earmarked this as one that they should probably be winning, but I think they might even start this game. Birmingham might start the game as favourites just because of how good they've looked and how much Derby have struggled, and I think the rest could play a big factor here, especially as it's Friday night. It's the earlier game than everyone else. So Derby they played Tuesday night, Friday night. Birmingham haven't played since Saturday lunchtime. So even that, it's just an extra few hours, and I think Birmingham will start this game fresher, and I think they're going to win 2-1.
So Sportsman going for a 2-1 win for Birmingham.